Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to finally get back into filming. It's been a really rough week. I work grocery retail, so I'm exhausted from the Easter holiday, but I'm back and I'm ready to do another video. Today I was kind of just in the mood to just play with makeup. I just didn't really want to do anything review wise. I just wanted to play with, you know, an oldie, but like not really even an oldie. It's just like something that came out like a year ago. If you don't know, this is the Bperfect Carnival 3 palette in collaboration with Stacey Marie. So I was going through some old videos and like I was looking around just for something kind of to inspire me, and I came across the Makeup by Missa's video that she did on this palette last year, and I was like, oh, I just want to recreate that. That's kind of what that's actually what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna recreate her look. Obviously it's not gonna be the same, it's not gonna be exactly the same or anything, because we're two different type of people. Like we have different eye shapes and all that jazz, but I am going to go ahead and kind of just follow her tutorial and just kind of just go with it. There's some of the stuff she has that I don't have, so I'm going to incorporate it throughout the video, and it's really just like one thing specifically. I might add another thing here and there just depending on how I prefer my eye look to look. But without further ado, I'm going to put this down and we're going to get right into it, guys. See you in a second. Alright, so I went ahead and primed my eyes with the P. Louise and Mitchell Acid Rain Paint in blank canvas. This is my kind of go-to for right now. I just kind of use it for everything. I obviously primed both eyes and my eyebrows are done. I did that off camera. So I'm just going to pat out any creases real quick, and we're going to get right into it. We're going to go ahead and jump into that, and we're going to start our look off with this blue called The Deep, and we're going to put that in the outer corner. I'm going to go ahead and start dipping into that with my Morphe R39 brush. Let's see if I like this brush, because I think I kind of probably I should use a smaller brush because my eyes aren't that, there's not a lot of lid space, but like again, we're just recreating the look, and it's kind of gonna be one of those hit or miss type things, so we'll see how I feel about that in just a second. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and probably gonna use that to blend. Let me actually go in with something smaller. I can already tell I'm gonna need something smaller. Alright, so instead of that one, I'm gonna go in with my Colorpop E21 brush. It's more of like a bullet brush, and we're gonna go in the deep, like I had said, and we're gonna just go ahead. Yeah, this is much better because I want to concentrate this color out in the outer corner to start. Missa, she brings it all the way over into the inner corner, which is what we're gonna do. Now this does look more vibrant on her, so I'm wondering it's just because she's a lot more fair than that's why. So I'm gonna go ahead and pack this all the way into here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I packed that the deep blue, the shade The Deep Blue, into my outer and inner corner. I'm going back into the Morphe R39 brush that I didn't initially start to use, but I'm going to use that to blend that out a little bit, as you can see. So I just went in and just carefully diffused it a little bit, because she doesn't go in with anything else but just this one right at the particular moment. And the shade does blend really beautifully. I'm going to go ahead and take my Colorpop E21 and go into Black Beach, which is the black in the palette, which is this one right here, and dip into it. And no need to tap it off because it's not a super pigmented black like she says anyways, so don't be scared of it, because it's not going to overtake the look as it was. We just want the depth. And if you don't follow Makeup by Missa. I'm gonna put her, link her in my description box, that you should check it out. She's an Irish YouTuber. I love her. Like, I just love her accent. I love her content. It's very it's just very a lot of eyeshadow tutorials, and like, I love that. It's not that she's like doing tutorials, but she's like reviewing a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I love that because she kind of mixes like tutorial style with review style, and I love that because it's just like, I want someone to thoroughly test out a palette. Like, I don't want you to get a 35-pan palette and not try to test as many shades as possible and make a really like intense look. I just love that about her. Like, it just makes sense to me. Okay, so I'm still adding and blending out this black, but now I'm going to go back with my Morphe R39 and back in the deep. I'm going to tap that off, and then we're just blending that black and that blue a little bit more. Okay. Now we're moving on to Blackberry, and that's going to go to blend out the blue some more. And we're going to be using Morphe 433 brush. We're dipping into the Blackberry shade. And that's going to go, I'm going to tap it off because I want to start out slow adding this color. And that's going to be right in the just edge, and just for like, you're not doing this direction, you're going to do it on the side and just kind of like feathering it on the edge. Okay, so with that Blackberry shade, like I said, we're just feathering it out, and we're definitely, especially because my eyebrow shape hers is like cut off. Like, she cut off in this specific video, she cut off her eyebrow, like she shaved it off, so it gave her more room to work. That's not how my face structure works, so I obviously can't do that. So I'm definitely gonna get eyeshadow in my brow, which is fine. It's not a big deal because it's just eyeshadow. It's gonna come off, and I'm still feathering it through and just kind of working it through, because this is going to be a pulled out look. Now I'm going to like wipe off that brush because I'm not going to try to use a billion brushes, and we're going to go into Pink Lily, which is this super bright pink right there. And we're going to tap that into, like, look at that pigment. Ugh. I am going to tap that though. And we're going to feather that out right next to that Blackberry shade, and doing that same kind of like side feather. Oops, sorry. And this is like, you barely putting any pressure. This is all just feather, feather, feather. Now I'm going to continue watching because I'm watching it while I'm going through it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into the deep and kind of like reinforce that blue a little bit more. And then go back into Blackberry, and I'm not going to try to pick up a whole bunch. And then just kind of feather that again in between the deep shade, and do the same thing with Pink Lily. I'm going to rub my brush off because I don't really want to wash any more brushes, I'm not going to lie. I'm gonna grab a fluffier brush. Like this one's just a smaller, fluffier, detailed, like a fluffier blending brush, a smaller, detailed blending brush. I cannot speak. And we're going to dip into Mango, which is this bright orange. And we're just gonna do the same thing. It's just, we're gonna go around it and feather that bad boy out. And again, that's just going to just continue to give us that look. I can't guarantee this shit's gonna look good on me. Like, you know, like everybody's face structure is different. It just, we're just, you know, whatever. We're just giving it a roll. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm not used to like bringing my shadow, multiple shadows this far out, and my eyebrows getting all fucked up. Like there's so much shadow there. Just so much shadow. I'm gonna go in back into Pink Lily, tap really lightly, and then go back into Blackberry and do the same thing. Kind of want to like really enforce the Pink Lily shade, so I'm not really liking that a lot, so I'm gonna like really see if I can bring in that Pink Lily shade a little bit more. There we go. With no more additional product on this blending brush, the M514. This is the one we used that mango shade on, and just kind of go back lightly around this. I'm probably going to end up cutting this up, and then it'll drag out this way a little bit more, and then I'll fix my eyebrow later. Okay. So I know that looks terrible on me, but that's fine. I mean, it's all for fun and games. Like, I'm gonna take this off here in a little bit. Hold on. So let me find out what's going on next, and then we'll be back to it. Okay, so I went back and like started watching a couple more clips, and she just has way more like way more of that purpley pink. So I'm wanting to like add more of that Pink Lily and just try to really intensify it. And yep. That was a mistake. That's not what I wanted to happen. So what I'm going to do is go back and just like, I wiped off the rest of that product and go back in there. And then I'm going to go back into that mango shade and intensify the outer edge of that. I did go and notice that she did do this part, so I'm going to do that off camera and get it on there. She probably just used a smaller detailed brush and then got it in here. Maybe I should just do it on camera and see how it goes. But it's interesting when you watch something. I think it just is more of like your skill level. So, and then knowing how your personal skill level and how it can differ from everybody else's is not necessarily like there's something wrong with palette. It might be like it's my skill level. It's not like her technique or anything. It's just my personal skill level isn't on hers, so it's not going to look or blend like her specifically. And I just went into Black Beach because I wanted more depth. Now, I'm going to take this Morphe M51 brush, and she went into the shade Yellow, which is like, I feel like it's a mixture of an actual yellow and like this mango shade, but so to me that's what it looks like. So this yellow shade is what she used, this one right there, is what she used next. And then she brought that out like a lot. And I'm going to bring this in. And then I'm going to go back in with Blackberry and all that shit like up front a little bit more, and then Pink Lily, and just like make that gradient. But just so I remember to do that, I'm going to go ahead and put that yellow right up front and then start blending the out of this. So clearly my skill level is nowhere near as good as Missa's. Like her blending is like out of this world. Mine is like meh. She alright. That's where my blending skills levels are. Alright. Like, it's okay. Like, my blending skills are nowhere near hers. Like, hers are just fucking phenomenal. Like, I'm certainly not hating this look at all. Like, these are colors I would wear all the time. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and blend Blackberry in here, and then Pink Lily, and just kind of mix in Mango and Yellow right in there just to like clean that up. And then I'm going to put some blank canvas right here, and it's not going to be precise, and then we can move on with the look. So I'll be right back and let me catch all that up. Okay, so I put some blank canvas on my lid. I used a flat synthetic brush. I also went back in with the Deep, this blue one right here, the one I originally used, and Blackberry right here. And I just took my Redford number 3 brush. It's a small, like a very small pencil brush, and then brought it back up here just to like, because I kind of went a little bit too far up. Like I said, I have small, very small eyes. There's not a lot of lid space right there right now. And then to clean it up a little bit, I'm going to now take another synthetic brush. This is a Luxie 211 brush, and we're going to go into Blue Moon right here, and that's going to go over all over the lid. I'm going to definitely be using my finger also, because it's just, you can tell right here, it just doesn't pick up that much pigment. Put it at an angle, you can't really see it too much on camera, but it's not going to pick up that much pigment, and it's not super, like the shade, like it's, you can see it, like it's not, it's kind of one of those putty, yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger. I didn't think it would pick up, but it's fine. It's kind of just to get this base down. Like, it's not going to be super impressive. It's a beautiful shade, like, no doubt. It's definitely beautiful. Like I was saying, Missa is from Ireland, and she used a pigment, like a liquid pigment, like the Stila ones. Like, she definitely did want to use the Mint Myth in the look, but she used another one from Barry M, which I don't have access to because I'm here in America. So this is starting to dry out, so I'm going to see if I can get anything out of this, and then if not, I'll just try to finesse it a little bit and see what I can do. And I'm definitely going to be using the Pat McGrath Bridgerton collection palette, the original one. I'm going to dip into that blue shade, and that's going to go all over my lid. But first, let me see if I can get anything out of this first, and that's going to go on my lid. If I can't, we'll just finesse it, because this is just going to be like, I want to be like, bam, in your face, super sparkly. Like, that's what I like to do. So let me see what I can do with this, and I'll be right back. I'm literally having the worst luck with my camera today. My son was messing with my camera settings, so like it's doing all this weird shit that's pissing me off. So I sprayed the inside of this with some Max Fix Plus, try to get something out of it. It's like, I'm gonna have to take the stopper out, but I'm gonna try to, I've got it on my hand, I'm taking the brush, and I'm gonna put it all over my lid. It's still a little bit chunky, like it's not as smooth as I remember this once being. Like, you can see how it's chunking up. This used to be like the ish and then some. Ugh, this isn't going. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Sometimes shit like this happens. Like it's taking off the underneath, and that's kind of annoying me. Sorry. Like it's taking off right here. So what I'm going to do is stop doing that. And we'll just make this work. Let me see if this will work. I have this MAC pigment that I have never used, and I love pigments because they're just beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that was it. That was the shit right there. So I use this MAC pigment. I don't even know if they make this anymore. This is in Kisms. I couldn't tell you. I'll list it in my bio, but it's kind of pinky purple, and I just dipped into that a little bit. I've always wanted to use these MAC pigments, but I just never had I keep forgetting I had them, to be honest. Oh god, that's so fucking beautiful. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So that kind of just worked out. So now I'm going to dip into, what shade is this? Regency Blue. And I'm going to like just swirl my brush into that and just put it right on top. Just to give it that, oh yes. Shut the front friggin' door. Yes, ma'am. Oh. It was so bad, it turned out good anyways. Like, oh yes, okay. All right. Me being all proud for no reason. All right, so that actually worked out. Like, worked out. So now she does take Mint Myth and she puts that in the inner corner. Now, we're in the same kind of predicament with this one that I was in with the other one, where there isn't a whole lot, like they're kind of drying out, but I think I can make this work. Hold on. Oof. Yes, ma'am. I genuinely was like, this isn't gonna work. I'm gonna have to just scrap this whole video because it's not working. But I guess that's kind of the fun of it. Like, you have to just keep trying and keep trying. Like obviously, like I said, like my skill level is nowhere near Missa's. Like her skill level is oh my gosh, her skill level is on some other period, and that is on period. Her skill level's on something else. So obviously I'm not deluding myself to like even remotely think it's gonna come out anywhere near as nice as hers, but I'm going to keep trying. So I'm just gonna go back and kind of blend everything through. I'm gonna catch up this eye and get my base on, and then that'll be the look. I'll see you in a second, guys. Alright guys, and this is the final and completed look. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to move my hair, but I have so much makeup in my hairline that I'm just trying to cover it because it's not cute. Oh, I don't have a hair in my mouth. Okay, so let me turn down the lights a little bit. Alright. So this is my my recreation of Makeup by Missa's look. I will list her I will link her channel down below. Go check her out. She's amazing, especially if you really like vibrant and colorful looks like I do. I don't think I did too bad. Like, it's not the worst. It's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst I've ever done. It's really pretty. Like, I obviously didn't have like all the stuff that she had, so I just made do with what I had personally in my collection, which I still like got pretty close, I think, to what she did, like if not dead on, just different things. So that says something, that you don't always have to get everything that comes out, that you can literally, like, for the most part, make the same types of looks with what you have in your collection, which I'm really excited about. Oh, I'll also mention my lashes are the Baddie B lashes in Extra. These are the ones I'm wearing right now. Foundation, I mixed the Dior foundation with the Peach Perfect foundation from Too Faced. This is discontinued. This is too dark, so I'm trying to use this up. So I'm trying to use these up, so I mixed them. Cream bronzer. I used the W07 Universal Bronze Balm. That's what I used. As far as blush, the cream blush was the Natasha Denona. I don't remember. I'll list down below. It's on my makeup table. Powder blush was the Jaclyn Hill Rouge Romance, and I also list the shades that I used. And for powder bronzer, I used the Milani Baked Bronzer. It's a shimmery bronzer, so I'll list all that stuff down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed and had a good time. Sorry if it was a little like choppy and like everything, but I was trying to follow along, and obviously like I don't want to like get copyrighted for having her voice over top of like in my video, so I definitely wanted to make sure that I just followed along quietly. And I still haven't figured out all the technical stuff as far as cameras go, so that's why if it feels choppy, I'm sorry guys, I'm still working on it. But I hope you like the look. I certainly do. All pertinent information will be listed in my bio. I hope you guys had a good time. I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye guys.